Hi everyone, this is Sean, Bid4Assets Marketing Manager. In this video, I will be walking you through how to participate in Adams County, Pennsylvania's sheriff sale auctions here on Bid4Assets. A sheriff sale is a public auction to facilitate the sale of property that's been repossessed due to an unpaid debt. The proceeds from that sale are then used to satisfy that debt. In many cases, this sale results from a mortgage foreclosure. Now, the first thing that you will need to do to participate in this or any auction available on Bid4Assets is register for a free Bid4Assets account if you haven't done so already. There are no monthly fees required to maintain your account. It's completely free, and the registration process should only take a few minutes. So to begin, you'll want to go to the top navigation bar on the bid4assets.com homepage and select Sign Up. From there, you'll be prompted to enter an email address and create a password. That password will be what you use to log in to your Bid4Assets account, as well as to confirm your bids. So be sure to make it something that you feel confident you'll remember. From there, you'll need to provide some basic contact information, confirm your phone number, and finally log into the email account that you've placed on file to confirm your email address and complete your registration. Bid4Assets has a video walking you through every step of this process, and you can access that video by going to bid4assets.com/videos. You'll see that we've got many videos here walking you through the various steps of a Bid4Assets auction, including right here at the top how to register for an account. Now, after you've created your Bid4Assets account, the next thing that you're going to want to do is go to the landing page on Bid4Assets for Adams County Sheriff Sale Auctions. You can do this from the home page by selecting the Sheriff Sales/Foreclosures link over here to the left, or you can go over to the right of our map and select the Sheriff Sales/Foreclosures link there. And then you'll be able to select Adams County from the list of sheriff sales that we have available here. Now, the first thing that I want to draw your attention to here on the landing page is the display up top that says sales date. So for Adams County or for any sheriff sale that Bid4Assets hosts, the sales date display allows you to view property lists based on when they're scheduled to open for bidding. So for example, when I select March 19th, it's going to show me a list of properties that are opening on that date. Now, once you have your property list, you can scroll through it using the arrows available here at the bottom of the list. And the arrows with the horizontal lines at the end will take you either to the first page or the last page on the list. Some auctions may be marked as stayed or postponed. An auction that's been stayed has been canceled, while an auction that's been postponed has been rescheduled for a later date. Doesn't look like any of them have been marked that way as of yet for this list. But something to note is that if you click on a postponed auction, the auction title will contain the new auction ID for the property if one has already been assigned to it. Now, if you leave the Show Available Auctions Only box checked, what that's going to do is only show you properties that are scheduled to move forward with their auction. It's important to remember that each auction date is treated as its own event, and it will have a deposit specific to that date. So in other words, if you'd like to bid on one or more of the properties in Adams County's March 19th sheriff sale, you only need to submit one single $1,000 paddle fee deposit, and that deposit will let you bid on all of the auctions that are scheduled to open on March 19th. If, however, you wanted to bid in an Adams County auction scheduled for a new date, then you would need to submit two deposits, one for the March 19th sheriff sale and one for the sale that's taking place on a separate date. And remember that while you need a separate bid deposit for each date, one deposit will qualify you to bid on every auction available on that date. So once you've seen an auction that you want to bid on, you can go to that auction page. And one of the first things that you're going to see is an orange button that reads, "Click here for deposit instructions." Bid deposits are typically required to participate in any auction that Bid for Assets hosts. They should be sent directly to Bid for Assets, and there are two methods allowing for you to do this, those being certified check and wire transfer. Now, before you obtain instructions for submitting your deposit, note that you'll be prompted to provide your Social Security number in compliance with the U.S. Patriot Act if it's your first time submitting a deposit with Bid for Assets. Now, after that, you'll be prompted to provide pre-vesting info detailing how you'd like any property that you've won to be titled. Just like with registration, Bid for Assets has got a video guide walking you through every step of this process. Again, you can find all of our video guides by going to bidforassets.com/videos. You'll see the deposit guide here right underneath the walkthrough for registration. Once Bid for Assets receives your deposit, it will be processed and you will be notified via email and in your Bid for Assets message center when you've been cleared to bid. If you don't win any auctions, then your deposit will be returned to you via a printable e-check that will come to the email address on your account within 10 business days of the auction's close. You can print that check out, take it with you to the bank, or you can scan it with a mobile app just like a regular bank check. Now let's take a closer look at an individual auction page for one of these sheriff sale properties and talk a little bit about due diligence. So the auction page has any available information that the sheriff's office can provide to assist you in your due diligence. Neither the sheriff nor Bid for Assets will have any additional information on the condition of the property or its title, including whether the property is free of any liens. It's very important that you complete your own due diligence before bidding on a property, including assessing the condition and value of the property, as well as any liens that may be associated with it. Both the sheriff and Bid for Assets would recommend that you consult with an attorney before purchasing property from a sheriff sale. Bid for Assets CEO led a webinar on how to research tax sale properties, and much of the information in that video will be relatable and helpful for you in your sheriff sale due diligence. You can find that video again by going to bidforassets.com/videos. I believe you find it here underneath of a guide through bidding. One key piece of advice that I want to mention from that video here, however, is the importance of visiting a property whenever you can. Obviously, you don't want to set foot on a property as that would constitute trespassing, but there is nothing preventing you from driving by a property and viewing its exterior. And that's a very worthwhile form of due diligence to practice whenever you can. Now, you may have noticed when we were back on the landing page that many of the sheriff sale properties displayed there do not have a minimum bid. In fact, this auction says awaiting minimum bid. The Adams County Sheriff's Office will set the minimum bid for each auction based on their costs associated with taking the property to auction. Each auction in the Adams County Sheriff's Sale will also have a reserve price. A reserve price is the minimum amount that bidding must reach in order for a property to result in a sale to a third party. This amount is called an upset price in some sheriff sales. For Adams County, it's actually going to be the reserve is actually going to be a combination of the minimum bid set by the county and the upset price set by attorneys assigned to any given property added together. Now, the reserve price is not disclosed, but bidders can see whether or not the reserve price has been met during bidding. What all of this means is that when you're researching property, you will need to determine how high you are willing to bid, even though you may not know the minimum bid or the upset price, and you won't know the reserve for an auction until bidding reaches that amount. This is why independent research and preparation matter so much when participating in sales of this type. Once the auction opens and you go in and start bidding, you have two choices. You can bid along in small increments, or you can place your maximum proxy bid and allow Bid for Asset system to bid on your behalf. The system will ensure that you do not need to bid more than is necessary to reach the reserve and beat the second highest bidder by one bid increment. In other words, placing your proxy bid is similar to having a number in your head when you go to a live auction, and the system will bid up to that amount on your behalf, but not over it. Additionally, the proxy bid system will default to the lowest amount that you can bid while still meeting the reserve whenever it can. So let's say that this auction had a reserve price of $8,000 and I went and placed a proxy bid for $12,000. The proxy bid system would default to a bid of $8,000, ensuring that I win the auction for the reserve price and no more. At this point, my bid would only increase if other people bid on the auction, and an increase was necessary to maintain my status as the high bidder. To be clear, if you are the high bidder on an auction, but the reserve price is not met, then you will not be purchasing the property. You'll need to bid until the reserve price switches from not met, you can see that indicator right here, over to met. And at that point, you would need to be the high bidder when the auction closes in order to win the auction and purchase the property. If you successfully win one or more auctions, you'll receive an email after all of the auctions have closed for bidding with settlement instructions. Now, settlement terms, or the timelines and the amounts that will be due after the auction closes, will be located in each auction as well as in the county's terms of sale on their landing page. You can see where Adams counties are located right here beneath the property list. We strongly encourage you to familiarize yourself with the settlement terms, as you must have the funds available to meet the payment deadlines outlined in them, or you will be in default and forfeit your deposit. In addition to settlement instructions, the email that you receive as a winning bidder at the end of the auction will also allow you to access Bid for Asset's Deed Wizard tool. This will give you the ability to update vesting information individually for any property that you've won. So to recap some key points. To participate in an Adams County Sheriff sale, you want to take the following steps. 1. Register a free Bid for Assets account. 2. Visit the Adams County Sheriff sale landing page on Bid for Assets and select the date of the auction that you want to bid in. 3. Obtain deposit instructions and send your deposit for the auction or auctions that you wish to bid in. Remember, only one deposit is needed for each date. 4. Thoroughly research the properties you intend to bid in and place your bids when the auction opens. Additionally, read the auction's terms of sale and settlement terms ahead of time to be sure that you have the funds ready to complete the sale on any auction that you win. And finally, 5. If you are a successful bidder, follow the instructions in your post-auction email to complete settlement. Again, sheriff sales can be complicated, so do your due diligence and consult with an attorney ahead of the sale. Bid for Assets is always here to help with live customer service, available over 40 hours a week, so always feel free to reach out to us by going to bidforassets.com/contact. You can also obtain our contact information by going back to the top navigation bar of the home page and clicking the Contact Us tab. Doing this will take you to a page that provides you with our customer service team's email address, phone number. Again, you can reach out to us at any time. Until then, we hope this video was helpful for you, and we wish you the best of luck in your next auction on Bid for Assets. Take care.